now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. That was a good one. That was good.
Welcome, you guys, to the Good Bad Advice Podcasts. We're your hosts. I'm Chase.
And I'm Stephanie. I was feeling it today.
And we are bringing advice to people in the news and just like a hangout.
Yeah. Oh
which
my gosh.
we have got to. I'm remembering.
I partially, though, have to say, like, we see each other once a week now, at least.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen you in years.
Why are we the way we are?
No,
I felt the same way last week.
I also think, like, we both have been super busy the first week of the year. I guess it's not the first week, but you know what I mean. Like, we have not even been texting outside of this either. Like, we're so busy.
Yeah.
That, like, on occasion, we're sending texts.
It's just a Real Housewives update. And,
Yeah.
like, have you watched the reunion yet? No, watch it. Then that's it.
That's it. And then we don't talk for another 48 hours.
100%. It really has been. I've had such a week. But before we get into anything,
Yeah.
we have got to give a shout out to who may be our youngest fan. And so I have to read you this DM we got from Erica, who says, "We have a tradition of listening to your podcast while I drive my son to preschool on Wednesdays. I was behind from the holidays, but I didn't turn it on until this morning while we were driving because I didn't turn it on this morning while we were driving because I had my 4-year-old, or I had my neighbor's kid in the car as well. But then my 4-year-old demanded, turn on Stephanie and Chase." And so we're just saying, hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew.
We love you.
We see you. We love you. You're the
baby
best.
Gorgeous.
Hey, baby Drew. Always tell your mom to turn on Stephanie and Chase in the car.
I hope you have the best day at preschool.
Literally share with your friends. Make sure you follow the teacher's advice. Be nice. Don't take candy from strangers. Help clean up. Listen to your mom. She's really great. She's actually a phenomenal cellist. Aww. So, yeah, that is so fun. So, a shout out to if you guys have if there's someone younger than Drew who wants to take the youngest crown, we need a video of them saying, please turn on Stephanie and Chase.
Yeah,
like, we ain't taking no representation at this point. It's like my unborn child craves you.
Start prompting your 3-year-old to say Stephanie and Chase.
It's the Stephanie and Chase challenge. So
Stephanie is hard to say for kids.
I know. So Chase is kind of hard too because the ch.
Yeah,
so, or the completion. So my nieces and nephews just call me Cha-Cha.
Most of my nieces as they were growing up, called me Unnie. They just call me Unnie. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm fine. How was your weekend?
Babe, I'm going to tell everybody about my week.
Oh.
It started off with a real banger when I couldn't get my heart under control, and I ended up in the ER because my heart rate was over 200 for an extended period of time. I'm talking several hours.
And I'm only giggling because we just were being girly swirlies texting.
I did text Steph because I called her. I had gone to the gym, and my heart rate was pretty active, pretty high when I went in. But then I was saying to a friend, like, oh my gosh, my heart rate's so elevated already. I must just be excited to dance. And she was like, you look like shh. And so, anyways, so I leave the gym because I feel like I'm going to pass out. And I call Steven, I call Stephanie, because that's really my phone tree order is like Steven and then Steph. Steph sends me to voicemail and says, sorry, hope you die. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty aggressive. No, she's like, sorry,
so
Molly's over. I can't talk. And so then I think I texted you when I got to the ER and I was like, hey, I was just, then you were like, hey, I'm free now. Do you want to chat? And I was like, no, I'm here, B.
And I sent a picture of
me.
him in the hospital, like the drama king that he is. Like, oh, sorry, I can't talk now. I'm in the ER with a big selfie of him in a hospital gown.
Paging Dr. Jones. GSW. Lane 5. And so, anyways, we ended up they gave me the emergency meds and my heart rate came back down. And then they kept me there for several hours to make sure. And here's the thing about going to the ER with Steven. He'd never been to an ER before.
He hasn't?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
He looked like he had landed in Nam in the middle of the war.
If you haven't been to an ER before, It's jarring.
Yeah, and every single alert or sound, intercom.
Yeah, it freaks you out.
And so obviously because my heart rate was so high, my little monitor for my pulse oximeter was just going off. And so I kept asking him, babe, will you please just turn off? Just hit that orange button like they do. And he was like, are you kidding? There are cameras in here. He goes, there are cameras in here. They are probably listening here. I'm like, what do you think they're going to do? They charged me $1,000 to come in here. We were leaving. I said, Steven, take some gloves. Take some gauze.
Start taking
Hey, can we
things.
get some Band-Aids up in here?
Yeah.
Because I just know it's like an insane, the system is inherently messed up.
No.
Like, I don't know how we fix it, but it can't be. I think I'm having a heart attack because my heart's going to explode. And then they're like, check, please.
Yeah.
Oh, you're totally fine. Let me give you this little med.
Kevin Darrow's favorite bit is to steal things from doctor's offices.
I love my other favorite
He'll
bit.
send videos of himself doing it while he's waiting for
Kevin
a doctor.
and I are such
So
brothers. Like, we are really like step brothers, kind of.
Yeah.
He's also the nicest because he keeps sending me, after I'd said that I love bloopers, he probably sends me once a week.
That man is active on Instagram. He sends me my Instagram DMs from Kevin are the best Instagram content.
My parents are really good too. I'm glad that we have parents that are like into the Instagram DMs. But anyway, so I got out of the hospital and then I had a couple of days of just feeling super overworked. Like my body wasn't reacting well. So then I'm like, okay, fine. Thank goodness it's the weekend.
Yeah,
thank goodness. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Just gonna like ease into the weekend.
Ease into the weekend. Go run a little errand.
I'm gonna go run a little errand to the Apple store, and sure as shiz, there was a shooting at the mall, and I'm waiting for them to bring my product that I'm buying. And a guy at the same table as me, just across from me, there were two kids, and he stood up and he said to them, hey, I think something's happening outside. And so then I turn and I see the Tag Heuer store and I see people running down the hallway. I hear people shouting. I then see the employees of Tag Heuer crunched down and locking their door and then staying very low as they went back in behind the counter. Then I look, the two adjacent stores similarly are locking their doors, and the Apple security guard was like, security threat, everybody at the back of the store. And she was maybe $110.
Yeah.
Pigtail braids with a beanie. Like, she looked like this was not her gig.
Yeah.
She turned it out. I am not kidding you.
Yeah, she was like,
vote for her for president.
Get in the back of the
She was
store
like,
now.
everyone, back of the store, security threat. She's kind of ushering everybody back in. So we go back by the Genius Bar, and then she says, move them to the secure room. And so then the employees are like, oh, okay, great. So we go in, go around the corner, go down the hallway. Yeah. And I was a little shell shocked because it just was kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't. It was hearing that it was an active shooter situation, and even subsequently learning that it was on the other side of the mall. Okay, great. 6 people were arrested. I'm assuming it was gang related. Multiple people. At least 2 people I think were at GSW's.
There was like 6
wounds.
people that were
arrested. Yeah, in custody. And so even though I know that I was safe, it was still, I think you had said like unnerving.
Yes, but you don't know that you're safe.
No. And I didn't know. And thank goodness for you. I'm like so grateful that I have good friends that are like, you know, my cute sister, my family, just Chelsea and my parents, and Steven and whoever were chatting and just being like, hey, it's okay. Like, and I think where I felt when I had said, hey, they just announced that it's a shooter. And so they did say you're in the most secure room in the mall because it was like a hydraulic, like, shoom.
Yeah,
the door
like,
was like a
because
big
it's the back room of Apple.
Back
like,
room
this
of
is
Apple with all the
products.
Yeah. And so, and the employees, I will say, like, my hat's off to the Apple employees, except for one who did dead ass ask me, and I'm going to say ass on here, even though it's unexplicit. He said to me, first shooting. And I was like, I like nodded, like blank stare. And he's like, and then he did say, like, it's okay, we'll be okay. Which is like reassuring on the one hand, but like, as I've really processed it on the other hand, I was just like, first shooting. I'm like, I guess it's not like your first time at the rodeo.
No.
Like it's so I just was watching the security
Like he might
monitors.
as well just sat here, like walked up and been like, come here often.
Yeah.
That would have been funnier.
It would have been funnier. And so they passed around like candy because there was maybe 50 people in the back room.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less, maybe including employees, maybe about that.
Yeah.
And so they were like trying to keep everybody calm, and you were so great in checking Twitter and then sending me the reports from
Amanda
the Utah
and I
alert.
were out.
I know, shout out to Amanda.
We were out plant shopping, and we have Reese, her not youngest, but 6-year-old in the back, and I start getting your texts while we're driving, and I'm like, like horrified, and Reese is like, "What's happening?" I'm like, "There's a scary man at the mall," but there's not usually scary men at the mall, so you don't need to be afraid of the mall. But I was like, and Amanda's like looking on KSL, looking on Twitter, like look, she's like,
you guys found it first. I shared it with one of the employees. I was like, "Hey, my friend just showed me this. This is on the Utah Scanner Twitter feed that says." And then you could see there were multiple. I think they shot out the Container Store windows and then some of the vehicles in the area the shooting happened in the parking lot there. So even though I know retroactively that I was totally safe, in the moment I didn't. And even though I knew I was in a secure room, I was watching the security feed like a hawk. Thinking at some point I'm going to just see, because it was completely empty. I thought I was going to see people shooting at the thing and walking in and stealing stuff.
Terrifying. In the moment, during any active shooter situation, you do not know if you are safe.
Yeah, and that's where it's a little, I mean, I guess I get to check like active shooter situation off my bucket list, but a little sad that that's on a bucket list.
Not so much a bucket list, but a like
life experience trauma list.
Yeah,
like,
that's more
it's just
of like
your
trauma
menu when you go to therapy and they hand you like what are you here for? And it's like active shooter situation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that was like a pretty alarming situation to say the least.
And I'm like sending you jokes, trying to like.
Well, so many people
That's probably like our first go-to trauma response is that I'm like, well,
my mom writes,
my
like, mom was like, can you see if they have snag an extra phone for me? And I was like, no, Mom, I'm hoping not to get shot.
I know you sent me a picture of the cameras and I was like, that's a lot of iPads.
Yeah, because it was right by the iPads. But then, you know, I think it was traumatic for the people. Like your mom wrote me and said, I just got off the phone with Stephanie. She was traumatized by your traumatized experience, secondhand trauma. And I think that's like people in my family had the same reaction. Chelsea was like a dream because she just was like, hey, no matter what happens, like you're going to be totally okay. And just look for other people that may be feeling the same. And you could sit together and say a prayer together. My mom put me on the prayer roll. Like, it was really nice. My parents and Chelsea in particular, like call to action, immediate, like totally good.
Me, I'm like, start a live podcast. I'll FaceTime
She did say, she goes, go live. Can you imagine? I was like, hey guys,
I'm in the back
mall. And then
Which
I'm
is like actually the
lighting.
Dumbest thing to do if you're in an active shooter situation.
Hey, I'm back here with all the iPads and the stuff here at Apple. There's a security code.
But they said the shooter can't get in.
They said the shooter can't get in. Neener can't get us. Like what the trauma? So that was an alarming weekend, and then I had to go from that. Like I didn't get what I needed at Apple, which actually makes me a little. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous to go back because I still have to get the product. Because they were like, well, you could stay here, and it'd be like an extra hour or so until we can clear, and then you could get the product and leave. Yeah. Or you could just leave. And I was like, get me the H out of here. Yeah, no, I bolted as quick as I could, but I was definitely feeling it.
You're like, I'm gonna order it online next time.
Yeah, I was like, this will be a direct ship direct to me.
Yeah. And
then that night, I went to the Encircle No Sides Only Love Gala. Mm-hmm. And Encircle is like an LGBT. They have multiple houses throughout Utah. It's kind of like a safe community place. Yeah. They offer free counseling services. They were talking about how last year alone they did like 6,000 sessions of counseling to families and individuals who are in the LGBTQAI family. Steven spoke and performed there, and I was super, super proud of him. There was a really cool person that anonymously donated $10,000 in Steven's name in tribute to him as they were like going through donations. No, he looked at me and I was like, it's not me.
You're like,
and then he looks at me and goes, was it me?
Steven's like,
because he's like,
Did I accidentally do that?
I'm like, yeah, I gave him your American Express. Congrats. It was anonymous.
Like, I love my partner, but I don't have that willy-nilly type
I was like,
of money.
no, my donation was coming here, baby. No, I bought the centerpieces for people to take home. And then I also did I showed you the Paris Hilton memoir,
Gorgeous.
a signed copy. Started reading it.
I heard
Pretty
it's good.
good.
I really heard it's good.
I was like, this started out as a gag.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, what's like the gayest thing I could buy at a gay gala? A signed Paris Hilton. A signed copy of Paris Hilton's memoir. And so that's why I originally got it. And then I was like, and I know it's with a ghostwriter. Like, she's been very open that she had other people help write her book. But her story is fascinating, which I'm probably gonna finish.
I wonder if she reads the audiobook. Because I would do the audiobook.
That'd be super annoying for me.
See,
Because her voice long term.
No, her voice, I think, is performative. I think when it's normal, when she's like talking normal.
Yeah, I know that from RuPaul's Drag Race when Gottmik did her first Snatch Game.
What is RuPaul streaming on now?
I don't know. I had to buy it on iTunes.
Is it just on Paramount?
No, it's not on Paramount at all.
Why the heck do I have Paramount then?
Well, because it used to be on Paramount, and that's where Survivor
All
is.
Stars
And have you
was
seen
on
Ghosts?
Paramount. No.
The TV show
but
Ghosts?
I haven't watched the last like 3 seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I just started 16. Start it, and then pick your queen, because they just did the first 2 episodes. No one's been eliminated yet.
But I don't know where to watch it.
Oh, I just bought it. It was like $24 to get a season.
Buy it when I have literally every streaming service?
Well, I think you have to stream it on, let me just check. I think it is MTV, which should be on Paramount, but when I checked Paramount, it was not there. I'll be really annoyed if it is on Paramount.
Yeah, because you bought it.
Yeah, because I paid $24.99.
But I didn't watch Willow Pill's season.
Oh, he's not a big pill. He's a willow pill.
I'll talk about my weekend while you're looking that up. My weekend was very low key, very nice, very chill. I went plant shopping with Amanda, and we went to the plant jungle in Highland, Utah. Highland? Yeah, somewhere around there. It was gorgeous and wonderful, and I got like 3 new plants. And then we were at my mother-in-law's this weekend, and she has this plant on her windowsill that's a philodendron, and it's like a variegated leaf. It's so gorgeous. My plant people will know what I'm talking about. Other people will be like, I do. It's a leaf. But it's like so pretty, so bushy. And I was joking to Traven. I'm like, put it under your shirt and then go put it in the car. I'm like, take it under your shirt and then go put it in the car because it's such a pretty plant. And Traven goes, Mom, Stephanie's joking about stealing your plant. And I was like,
oh, the betrayal.
How dare you? And then she goes, oh my gosh, do you want it? You can have it.
Not the gag.
I was like, wait, do you mean it? And she's like, yeah, you can have it. And I was like, I've never been so happier to be betrayed because I joked about it and you turned me in and now I get this plant.
I know, but maybe that was his, like, maybe he doesn't understand how manifesting works.
Yeah.
But maybe that's his manifesting. He's like, I listened to last week. You had a plant on your board. I'm like, Mom, she needs a plant. Boom.
No, I was so happy. It's so pretty. I like immediately took a picture and sent it to Amanda. You're not really a plant girly.
Okay, first off, I'm a guyly. And second, you should have...
I've been saying girly too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to me. I don't care if you say it generally.
I know.
That is one thing that when people are like, oh, girls, gays, and theys. I'm like, totally get it.
No, I don't usually call you girly.
No, I know. I'm just saying. When people
you're not a plant person.
I'm not a plant person at all, but I still love beautiful things.
Okay, I'll send you a picture of it.
Last night we were at this thing and we were talking about something that we're all good at. It was like a getting to know you for this thing. And this young guy was so nice, but he was like, I think what I'm good at is knowing when things look good. And I was like, aesthetics? He's like, what's that? And it's like, oh, sweet angel baby. Like, aesthetics are...
Okay, how do
but
I
I was like,
this?
what a fun way to like say what your superpower is to be like, I just know when things look good. Like, I just have good taste.
Honestly, I love that. I can see how other people might be like, oh, pretentious. But like, I love
someone owning like, oh no, I have good taste.
Yep.
Like this, I actually just have good taste. Mm-hmm. That's my superpower.
That's a good superpower.
I said to Emily when I was at church yesterday with her, she had these cute shoes on. I was like, Ems, I love your shoes. And she's like, thanks. She goes, I love when you compliment my shoes. She's like, when you give me a compliment on my shoes. And I said, totally. And she's like, and then sometimes you don't compliment them. And I said, babe, that is the comment.
That's
she was like,
what I'm trying to say.
Ooh, that's
exactly what I'm trying to say, is that those require no
comment is a comment.
Oof, that one hurts.
Okay, I do have general advice that I wanted.
Love.
I just want to share. This is like a little token of advice that I did have from the weekend that I ended up having. When someone is going through something traumatic, whether or not it's traumatic for you or not, whether or not you think it's traumatic for you or not, the thing that the traumatic person needs the most is for you to sit with them in the trauma.
Hold space.
Just to hold space for them. Don't try to pull them out of trauma or a traumatic response or whatever else until they're ready.
Yeah.
And I could say that as someone who had a fairly traumatic week, both being in the ER and whatever else. And I'm so grateful for the people that were like, hey, that had to have been like you. That's scary as hell. Yeah. What can I help with? And then you wrote me and said,
like 5 times that day. Be like,
I know,
surviving or thriving.
When it was happening, you just wrote, just keep texting me.
Yeah.
You can just keep talking to me. You don't have to be alone.
Yeah.
That to me is like the best piece of advice I can give to people who are adjacent to someone going through something traumatic, is just to be like, hey, you talk to me. You stay in this space for as long as you need. When you're ready to get out, I'm here.
Yeah.
But while you're still in there, I'll be here too.
Yeah.
And I just think we need to celebrate that more.
Yeah, I agree. I think I literally talked about that this weekend with a different event with a friend, is that like when you are in trauma, not even just like these singular moments that kind of pop up, and those are very traumatic, but when like you're experiencing something traumatic, the people that are showing up for you and are holding space for you, those are the real ones.
Yep, agreed.
Like
the people that are complaining about you being through something traumatic, bleh.
I will say, and this is just like props to you, I went through something traumatic last year. The night that it occurred, you were there with 2 Xanax. Like, like
if she needed them, I wasn't giving unprescribed drugs to anybody. I just was like, hey, this is a safety net. If you didn't
like,
take it.
No, so he was like, clear. I have 2 Xanax in a Ziploc bag that I might leave on this chair. And if you find them later and you don't give them back to me, that might be like okay if you needed them. But like, I will tell you, that was like such a reminder of our friendship, where I was like, oh, thick and thin, this person.
Easy peasy.
Like,
yeah, but
no
you're
matter
easy to
what.
be thick and thin with, because we have such a fun time.
That is so nice. Even
in the thin times, it's still a good time.
Yeah, but like when you're in those types of situations, like I feel like I came out of, even after you were texting me, I was like, man, Chase is like one after the other these days. Like, you just really keep getting hit. And I was like, man, and he's like still so lovely and wonderful to be around. I'm so glad he's in therapy. Like, I was like,
I know. Thank you, Christina.
Just keeps
Here's
coming.
Your weekly shout out.
But I was just like, you keep showing up. Like it's easy to show up for people who show up for you. Yeah. But man, when you have a traumatic situation, when you look back at the people who were like there the second it happened, you're like, oh, that's a real one.
Yes.
Friend for life.
You a real one, girl.
You a real one.
I love writing people friends for life, friend for life, or friend forever. Because my friend Marty Johnson also wrote me, we were talking about this, and she was like, oh yeah, love you forever, friend. Or love you forever, brother. And I was like, I love things like that, because I just think, oh, heaven's going to be nice with like my favorite people.
Yeah.
And then watching my least favorite people burn in hell. It's going to be like the best part of heaven. Also, I'm doing a new thing. We didn't do it last week, I don't think, so I apologize if this is new. But I was talking to my kids on FaceTime, and they were talking about, did they give you a word? Did Charlotte text you?
No, they never text me.
Okay, so but I'm going to give them a code word, and then whichever of them texts it to me first, then they're going to get a little prize money. So this is like a new little thing to see if they're listening, and I have to put the code word in at different times of the episode, so it's not just like consistent. But the code word this week is Willy Wonka.
Oh,
so the first time, which of my 2 kids texts me Willy Wonka first, they get the money.
That's amazing.
Game on, kiddos.
I love it. I love it. That's a fun game.
We actually head out this week. We're actually looking forward to it. We need to figure out our schedule, by the way, because I'll be gone for a while. Going out there for my kiddo's birthday. OJ turns 11.
Ooh,
my youngest.
ooh, OJ.
Woo. We're like pretty pumped. I can't say any of the gifts in case he listens to it, but I think we're gonna have a fun. We've planned some fun things. Stephen and I were brainstorming like fun things to do at the lake house, just to like party, and we have a good little game plan going.
Love it.
All right, let's get into some stories.
Let's get into it.
Now, we're in award season.
Yeah.
We know Critics' Choice Awards, Emmys, they had the Golden Globes we've already talked about, and we can't waste your guys' time going through each of the winners.
No.
We did that last time,
Maybe
and we
we
thought...
will when we get to the Oscars. Like the Golden Globes and the Oscars, but...
are kind of like the big ones. All the other ones, we kind of thought, well, we could do another red carpet look. We could talk about flops and drops, and some were great. Yeah, like... wait, before we forget, you know how you sent me the thing, the obituary this week of someone?
Oh my god.
We have to be so careful about the advice we give.
Yeah.
Because it's manifesting.
Yeah, it's manifesting.
You know, last week we talked about how funny it is
when you put emojis.
if you put an emoji on someone's obituary, like someone's announcement of them, like someone passing away, like the zombie, the ghost. We went through the skull and crossbones. Like we went through a bunch of different options. Stephanie then sends me this past weekend.
Friend of a friend, somebody I follow on Instagram, somebody they know died, and they wrote this, sentiment about them. So at least they wrote a sentiment about them.
True.
And then they put white heart, wings. Wings emoji.
Yes, and the wings, yes. And so Stephanie sent it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have power.
I feel like white heart is enough.
Yeah, I feel like white heart doesn't count as an emoji. Heart doesn't count as an emoji.
No, white heart, peace. Like I get it.
Yeah. Or like even if it's like a cry emoji or whatever, those are normal emoticons.
That one got me.
That one is a surprise.
We really forgot about that one.
And so I love reminding us we're about to give advice. Yeah. That we yield some cosmic power here.
Yeah,
because when we've been giving advice to people, we've been following it. For example, we told everybody to up their fashion game, and I will say the looks were much stronger. They were better.
Like Billie Eilish's, hers was much better.
And Critics' Choice than Golden's. Yeah. But the only thing that we really care about, and the thing that we want to report on is, and our advice to people going, is if you know you're not supposed to win, and you win, you need to be Ryan Gosling when they announced I Am Ken beat out Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For.
So confused.
He was so gagged and then genuinely like disappointed in the Critics' Choice Award voting pool who picked them.
If he didn't have PR training, he would have looked directly at the camera and went, no.
Yeah,
no.
But he basically did that because he's like, looks at the announcers like they got it wrong.
Yeah, he's like,
did you read the wrong thing? Oh, sorry, the award goes to Spotlight or whatever, whichever one it was. Moonlight.
La La Land,
whatever. La La Land. Like that vibe, except I just love the awareness. Mm-hmm. So much of Hollywood and so much of just society in general are not aware.
No.
Like they live in a totally different universe. They're Delulu. Mm-hmm. It is their Salulu, and that is their vibe. It's
working for them.
It works for them. Good on you. Not good on you, because we need to be a little bit more self-aware.
Yeah,
Thank goodness for Hollywood being self-aware enough. Like Jennifer Lawrence during the Golden Globes, like if I don't win, I'm leaving. Like I don't win, funny.
Leaving.
And then Ryan Gosling, because she's making fun of the awards. In fact, she was talking about Jennifer Lawrence was interviewed about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and she goes, give them an Oscar. Give them mine. I don't care. Give them one of my Oscars. It's totally fine. Like, I just love that, not taking it too seriously. So Ryan Gosling wins for I'm Just Ken with Mark Ronson. And then Greta Gerwig's husband was a co-writer on the song. For the song I'm Just Ken, which was very catchy.
It was good.
Yeah, and we're going to put as a poll so we'll see. We're going to make our case because some of the other nominees were Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For, which is the shoe-in to win the Oscar.
It should win.
Everything. Will win, but then also had Peaches from Mario.
Which is a great song.
Yeah, we're really interested. We don't actually have positions, not like our last poll. On 10 Things I Hate About You or
no.
Notting Hill. Like we ain't going to start a war over this, but we are interested. And so I think both of us should make a case for either Peaches being the most annoying, iconic nominee or I'm Just Ken. Okay, and I'm going to defend Peaches.
Okay, great.
So this is the case I have for Peaches, even though I think both are great. After going to Super Mario, which I went multiple times in the theater, I loved Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
Really, really witty. I don't really care what critics have to say. We'll hit Mean Girls later because I have to do that content update. But I thought Peaches, first off, I love Jack Black. I think he's hilarious. I think he's actually very, very musically talented and creative. And so I loved Peaches so much. Peaches, 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 I love you. Love it. So I love Peaches because it's so nostalgic for Super Mario Brothers. Yeah. And I was not really Actually, I was a Barbie kid. I was just going to say, I wasn't really being into Barbie.
I didn't really play with Barbie.
JK, whenever Chelsea opened one of those things, I was like, yes.
Yes, new Barbie.
I'm like, oh, perfect. Another redhead. Got her. Okay, so I think if you pick Peaches, that's a really, really good choice, too.
Yeah. I think for I'm Just Ken, it was undoubtedly iconic. Like, especially in a movie that was so, like, all about women, to give men a moment, even satirically.
Yes.
Was just so comical. The dance number was amazing. The, like, kind of big room dance number where they're crossing through each other. Yes. It's kind of like West Side Story.
In the black,
like,
with the
references, even within that song, were so good. And Ryan Gosling has a beautiful voice.
Yeah, I mean, he was in La La Land. Like, he's not a nobody.
I mean, he was in
singer.
Mickey Mouse Club. Like, he has a voice.
I mean, that's the standard. So yes, was Britney. It is.
So was Britney. So was Justin Timberlake. So was Christina Aguilera. So was JC Chavez. I'm saying this is a group really had a voice, talented singers.
No, I know that they're talented. I don't know if I would say that they're all talented for singing.
What do you mean?
I'm saying when I think of vocal powerhouses, I will give Christina Aguilera that nod. But I think of, like, there's no possible way I could...
Wait, no, now actually we might fight. Because...
No. Honey, do you think Britney Spears has a good voice? Not that she's a good singer. Two different things.
Have you heard her sing not in her Britney Spears voice?
No, I actually never have.
Okay, well, you're wrong.
What song is that in? What song?
If you listen to her singing previously to her doing this Britney Spears baby voice... She sings like Christina Aguilera. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Shut up.
I'll retract. Jeez. Hey, I feel like I'm at the Apple Store.
Is arguably better than Justin Timberlake at singing.
Okay.
But both of them extremely talented singers.
The only thing I think about with JC Chavez was that he was on that dancing show, the Dance Crew.
Yeah, incredible singer too.
I know, but I always just thought of him as like a dancer. I guess I never really thought of him as like a vocal powerhouse.
No, he's better than Justin Timberlake.
But for me, when I think of vocal powerhouses, I think of like Adele. I think of like Christina. I think of Jessie J. I think of Celine Dion. Like, I think of Ariana Grande, which we're going to talk about. So I guess I just don't think of Britney Spears' vocals in the same echelon. I don't think of Justin Timberlake's vocals in the same echelon. I think performing, I will give you that. Britney Spears used to belt
like Christina Aguilera.
Really?
Yes.
Gosh, we did her dirty. We were talking last night. What will Jesus say when we come back? And we have to be accountable for what we did to Britney.
Come here.
No.
Come here, all of you. Come here.
That's what Jesus will be like. He'll be like, "You did this.
You look at her. Everyone, look at me. Eyes on me.
1, 2, 3. Eyes on me.
Look at Britney. Okay. You guys. You all did this. Everyone say sorry.
Everyone one step back toward heaven. Everyone heading to heaven, one step back. And if you ever Google searched, you know what your Google
Britney
searches
Spears
were?
Shaved head.
Yeah, 2 steps back.
If you read her memoir, 2 steps forward.
Yeah, if you read her memoir and if you use the hashtag Free Britney, unironically, 1 step forward, ironically, 3 steps back.
Imagine that's the scale of getting into heaven. We're all on the front lines. And it's just a step system.
It's just a step. And like, it's like Squid Game. Yeah. Do da da do da. And it turns around and everyone's like, oh shoot. Like, we have no idea how it ultimately works, right? Like, we have no idea how the next life.
I love to muse about it.
Oh, musing about it. Like, they're crazy. That is so funny to think. Into heaven, you have to be Squid Game. And then, like, you see the other contestants there with you, and you're like, Mom. And she's like, I got to get to heaven.
It's like, if you had have a Twitter account, take 3 steps back.
Yeah.
If you have a secondary Twitter account just for trolling and or other things, take 10 steps back.
Yeah. And then that's like how we talked about how Jesus is you're going to have to read all of your mean comments. It's like, if you don't want to take a step back, please come to the front and read your comments, form a line over to the right. And then some people just, they pull out a binder. Show me your last 10 likes. And then you also have to show your hidden folder on your phone publicly to your mom. Here's this folder. I was with a friend over the weekend and they were like, oh, hey, let me show you this pic. And then they open up their hidden folder and I was like, oh my gosh. And so as they were clicking on it, as the things were loading, you know, you have to do a little face scan. I was like, I don't know if I want to see anything in there. And she was like, calm down. I'm not like you. And I was like, ooh,
that's fair.
Shots fired.
Fair. No, most people's hidden folders are just their before photos. Yeah, no afters, just befores.
I've seen a lot of those. That's what hers was. Okay, so you have to watch Ryan Gosling's reaction.
Just look up his reaction.
To we're gonna put it as a social cut. We have to because this face is the new face. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. This is the new face of like, what the?
He's the meme of the kid in Africa who like has the cup of water and he's like,
oh,
like he's the new meme.
So I just love, if you're gonna go to an, if you are an assistant listening, because we're not under any false notion that any of you billion listeners are celebrities. But if you're an assistant or if your cousin's an assistant to a celebrity, please pass on the general advice of just helping them be a little bit more aware. First off, it's really great PR. The only thing we're talking about with respect to the Critic Choice Awards and any real award show right now is his reaction. Mm-hmm. It's going to become Angela Bassett did the thing.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
It's okay if your self-awareness, I guess, although Angela Bassett did the thing was kind of unaware. Like, I don't actually think she was trying to be. No, she was trying to do the thing. All right. Speaking of someone else who's trying to do the thing and failing miserably. Yikes. Ariana Grande has released new music in defense of her affair.
Yeah.
Which is so level 10 cringe. Let me go through. So her new song is called Yes and.
Yeah, just read some of the lyrics.
Say that SHIT with your chest. Keep moving. What's next? Yes. Your business is yours and mine is mine. Why do you care whose DICK I ride?
Here's the thing. I actually like.
First off, the song's a little bit of a bop.
It's a little bit of a bop.
I don't want to give that to her. It's very Paula Abdul.
It's Paula Abdul. It's Madonna. It's Renaissance.
It's
trying
copycat.
To be. Yeah, it's copycat, and that's why it's good. It's formulaic. Yep. It has house music. She doesn't start singing for 47 seconds.
Agreed. I thought the same thing.
It very much copies Madonna's Vogue archetype.
And Paula Abdul, someone did like a TikTok of the music videos
she
of them.
Pays homage to.
Yes.
So like it has recipes for it. It very much has thank you next vibes. However, and I want to preface with, if you are the person in a marriage and you step out of that marriage with somebody else, the dissolution of your marriage is 90% your fault.
Yep.
90% your fault. Whoever you did that with, if they knowingly knew you were married, they're a bad person. But it's not their fault.
Right. They didn't break the marriage vow.
And Ariana Grande was also married. She is at fault for her marriage dissolution.
Right. And even though it went well, even though the PR is trying to spin it like they separated amicably, they moved on. Okay. Yeah. You still, and you went after a man who was married who also had a young newborn baby at home.
I don't think it is her fault. I think she's a bad person, but I think it is his fault. If you are stepping out on your marriage, you are at fault for the dissolution of your marriage. I'm not for blaming Ariana Grande for the dissolution of their marriage. But what I will say about Ariana Grande is there has been circumstance after circumstance of her showing us that she's not a very good person. And I think we should start believing her. Like the licking the donut and leaving it there. The breaking up Pete Davidson and Cassie David. And like, she has done this historically. I feel like we should just start believing her. that she's not a very good person. And I hate to say that because if she ruins Wicked for me, I'll never forgive her.
Yeah, I think what I'm most annoyed at is that this really does just color Wicked through in a really negative light because Slater, the guy, is in Wicked as well.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really hard. I'm not someone who wants to like fully comment on someone's personal life, but she doesn't get the luxury of having a quote unquote personal life when she puts it out there so publicly. And when then she's doing why do you guys care? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah. You know, but do not come to us like you're a victim here in this situation. You created the situation that you're in. Is your problem, baby.
Yeah, no, she did this and then said, and?
Yeah, and she wants to be like, why do you guys care? I'm so sick of everyone talking about me. I just want to get this off my chest.
You know what? I actually think that, like, okay, and is a really funny response to things. But when you are doing it ironically. Yeah. Like, that is really funny. It's really funny as a bit. Saying yes, and when you contributed to the falling apart of a marriage with a newborn child. I don't think that's really like an okay and situation.
Yeah, it's a bizarre position to take, and to then be thinking I'm going to be in my empowerment era, like you guys can't make a comment about me. And then to victimize yourself, I don't love.
No. It's coming off just like I'm desperately trying to show you guys that I'm unbothered, but like it sounds like she's really bothered.
And I think she deserves all the negative that she's getting. Yeah. I'm like, get it, girl. So general advice is make the choice. Totally your prerogative. Accept the consequences. Yeah. But people want to make choices and not accept the consequences. I got a big deal with that. Yeah. Because I'm like, make the choice, own it, and then accept the consequences.
I guess to me too, it's like for this to be your first release after everything is just a choice. Like I think if she would have laid low and maybe released this at the end of this year on an album and not as a like fresh single, maybe I would have like let it slide. But like to be the first thing that you have to say about it.
Yeah. And to be so provocative in it is not for me. Yeah, no. But I'm not a huge Ariana Grande fan, although you know what we should post? What? Our Halloween costume from like 5 years ago. Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. That's a fun little throwback. Remind that carousel. I'll just put it in my notebook, my Marty Johnson notebook.
My fantastic hair pony.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. You really did look gorgeous.
Thank you. Okay. I had a completely oversized winter jacket. Yep. Okay. That was a fun Halloween. Just me and you.
That was really fun. We just went to go eat and popped into a couple parties, which is really fun. Okay. Next story. I love this so much. I think this is a new trend that should happen at all weddings. Every wedding should have this new trend. Jennifer Lawrence told Robert De Niro to leave her wedding because she's freaking out. So that's the headline. Let's tell the story. Yes. Jennifer Lawrence gets married. It's a huge star-studded. I was reading through some of these people.
So many people were there.
I mean, it was Adele, Amy Schumer, Kris Jenner, Emma Stone, Ashley Olsen, Nicole Richie, Joel Madden, Cameron Diaz, Sienna Miller, and then Robert De Niro because they were in Silver Linings Playbook, Joy, and American Hustle together. Uh-huh. And they got married in Rhode Island at this mansion, and it was really cold. And Jennifer Lawrence is on, doing press, talking about stuff, and she's panicking, saying, gosh, being a bride is actually awful.
So stressful.
Because you're just worried, is everybody having fun? And so she's like, even though all the guests kept saying, no, it's so fun, nobody's cold, it's great. Her mom, as most moms can just bluntly say, says, it's freezing out there, your grandmother almost died. Yeah. So then she begins panicking for kind of the older people, and are people really having fun? Yeah. She surveys kind of the crowd and then sees that Robert De Niro, who didn't really know anybody else there, is just kind of wandering around aimlessly. And
trying to be friendly to people, but also just like
So she's like, so she says, I looked over and I saw Bob, who doesn't know anybody, and he was kind of wandering around, and I immediately was like, oh no, this is not what he wants to be doing. I don't want him here. So I went over and I whispered, I was like, go home. And he was really nice. He talked to my parents and was polite, but I was like, go. And then after he left, she says, I genuinely felt better about the situation.
Thank goodness for her talking about this, because being a bride is actually treacherous, like bride or groom. I remember on my days just being like, seeing people hanging out, and I'm like, what am I doing over here? Like, I really think that if I could do it over again, I would do a dinner with 50 people. Because it just is like, I'm standing away from everybody that I want to actually be with on the best day ever. Like,
talking to your dad's business partner's brother who came.
Traven's stepbrothers and wife and who he doesn't even talk to. I'm like, I cannot, and the whole time you're just like, is everybody enjoying themselves? Is everyone having a good time? So that is so relatable to be looking around just like, I know it's my day, but like, is everybody else enjoying themselves?
Oh yeah. And I think that makes it super charming to me, because I'm like, okay, excellent. I love Jennifer Lawrence's realness and being like, I knew it was cold. I knew certain people weren't having fun. And there's a lot of pressure as a guest, particularly I think when you're somewhat close to be like, okay, good, if I want to be there. But if you're not feeling well, if you're feeling awkward or whatever it may be, I just think I love the idea of having complete permission at a wedding. Just be like, hey, you don't seem like you're having a good time and you're kind of bringing down the crowd. So why don't you leave?
Yeah.
You can leave.
You can leave.
Leave. For those of you that watch Salt Lake, you know exactly who we're talking about. Yeah. I actually ordered shirts that said you can leave from an Etsy store. I don't know why. I just thought it'd be funny. I just love general advice. If you're going to be at an event, be there and have fun at the event.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to an event at Cup and Attitude, you can leave.
I will say though, like, Robert De Niro is kind of not well.
Yeah, no, he just fathered a child. Like, he's not.
No, that's not
Robert De Niro.
No.
Wait, who's the guy that just had the baby?
Not De Niro.
I swear, Robert De Niro, baby.
No. You're thinking, okay, Robert De Niro is the one who's on Meet the Parents. The ones that we reported on was a different guy.
Baby. De Niro and Chen's baby girl Gia was born April 6, 2023.
Wait, what?
Robert
show
De
me
Niro,
a picture of Robert De Niro. Because I thought that
Robert De Niro, Meet the Parents.
He just had a baby as well?
Yes. Honey, I swear we talked about this.
No, we talked about the other guy who had a baby.
Wait, who?
The other old actor who had a baby
in our notes,
with his young...
we do. For those of you that think that we just basically randomly...
No, because I was picturing him. I was picturing that guy, Robert De Niro. But there was another guy who had a picture where I talked about elder abuse.
Yes, I'm trying to remember it.
He's in all of those same movies, though. They're like the same archetype of actor. That's weird.
Al Pacino.
Yep, same
Robert
person,
De
though.
Niro.
Same person. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, same person.
One for one. Yes. Okay.
I know they're different and have completely different acting, but they're the same person to me. No, Robert De Niro was on a red carpet the other day, and he was with the girl who played... Oh, here we go again. The girl who played Wednesday Addams.
Okay.
Somebody's screaming at the podcast telling us who it is.
Jenna Ortega.
Yes, they were there, and he like all of a sudden got confused and was like, were we in a scene together? And like you can see her panic. Because
what are you supposed to say? You can't were they in a scene together?
Yes, they were.
So you can't make him look like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And you just have to like move on. My PR strategy there is just be like, oh my gosh, stop it, you crazy. You could tell he
all of a sudden was like, I don't know where I am.
Oh, that makes me sick.
And I'm like, let this man stop working.
Yes.
So I think that's probably what Jennifer was talking about at her wedding.
Yeah, I just think I love the idea of saying, hey, you don't look, if you're bringing down the mood, you need to expect someone can ask you, you can get the boot. Bring down the mood, get the boot.
Yeah.
Bring merch idea. Bring down the mood, get the boot.
So yeah. Weddings are treacherous, though.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to never doing one of those. Just kidding. Okay. So Joy Behar is one of the 5 people I could punch in the face.
Really punchable. Really punchable.
So punchable. So condescending.
I'll punch her in the face since you can't punch a woman.
No, I could punch her. I could. Hey, I'm sexist. I'm not sexist. I mean, I believe in being equal rights. I don't discriminate. Everyone. I could punch anybody in the face.
I'm a feminist. I can punch people
Yeah, I'm
equally.
a feminist. I could punch Joy Behar in the face. She drives me nuts generally. I stopped watching The View. I used to watch The View every day.
Out of pocket things.
Yes, and speaking of someone who's getting old and a little bit senile, Joy Behar had tried claiming that she was offered a role to play Ted Lasso's mom in Ted Lasso.
This is so weird because it's so easily disputable.
So Jason Sudeikis and Brendan Hunt are clapping back at Joy Behar's claim that she was asked to guest star on the Apple TV Plus show. This reports that he had said, "That's news to us. She's welcome to sit at the table, though," because he's trying not to be a total jerk. But he does say, yeah, Joy Behar from The View, when asked if she would be wanting to do that, they were like, we don't know her.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I love...
from the talk show that I would never go on? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. So now she had claimed on a podcast that she refused to play Ted's mom due to the weather in London where the show films being too warm for her. You were contacted about the possibility to be on my favorite show of all time, the producer of The View said on the radio program, and you were dismissive of it because it would require you to spend your hiatus in London. It was too hot, you remember? There was heat that was going to be like 100-degree weather, and I had to get on a plane and go to the middle of the heat? No.
Here's what I could see happening is that her agent was like, hey, there's a role coming up that looks like you would kind of fit the archetype for it. Would you be open to doing this?
Where do they film?
It wasn't like Ted Lasso was like, hey, we're inviting you to
Or that she got offered the role and turned it down.
She did not get offered the role. I'm sure her manager, agent, whoever was like, there's an opportunity that's out there.
Yeah. And here's my general advice thought for this story.
That's an inside thought.
What?
Like what she's saying.
Oh, yeah. No, keep that to yourself.
Yep.
Don't go on a podcast and see that. But my advice is, as much as it pains me to say this, I agree with Joy.
What?
Don't turn down a role, even if you didn't get it, because
if it's too hot.
It's too hot.
Yep.
I think there's nothing worse than being hot.
Yep.
And so I don't care if it was Ted Lasso, probably arguably one of the best series out there. It was the apex predator of series for a very long time, multiple award shows. To turn it down and to be like, I don't care, it's just too dang hot.
It was too hot.
I am here for that. I hate being warm. I hate heat. If it was like cold, if I have my free time, I'm not spending it excruciatingly hot.
Not being warm. No, couldn't be me.
So I'm okay with that. General other thought, maybe keep some advice, maybe keep some thoughts to yourself. Like inside thoughts don't have to be shared.
Yeah, but no, I actually agree with you on that one. Turn things down if it's going to be too warm there.
Right.
Even if it's a luxury vacation. If it's going to be too hot.
Well, and then this was the other thing that she says in the interview that I thought was just like, hang on a second, be consistent. Because she said, listen, I'm a writer. I write my own stuff. I don't care about other people's stuff. I don't need to be in anything. Okay, so which was it, Joy?
Yeah.
Were you offered the role and you turned it down? You didn't go with the offer?
So her. That's so her to be like, I turned it down. But also, I don't need to be in that show because I'm talented in my own right. And it's like, girl, The View has been nothing for years.
Yeah.
We are all still surprised that it's on TV. Not one person would be shocked if somebody said, The View is canceled. Yes. We'd all go, it's about time.
Yeah, oh no. There's an absolute definite thread of like, please stop trying to make this dang show relevant. Just let it off the air.
Partially, my other advice for Joy too is just to be like, lean into one side of your personality.
Yeah, well, like, it's hard when you have a disorder.
That's true. No,
allegedly.
I just allegedly, Joy, if you ever hear this. No, I'm like, At least, now of course I can't remember her name. Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
At least Joan Rivers had just like, she was a mean comic.
Yeah, totally.
And that was her shtick. I wish Joy would just lean into her personality. That was like, oh, I don't need that.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, just be authentic. Because I think that's how she really feels.
Yeah, I think that's how she really feels too. So just be consistent.
Yeah,
you're right. Be authentic. All right, we do have to talk. We have one really quick story. Mm-hmm. Another flippin' airplane.
Oh,
the airplane.
I'm sure you guys have all seen this, but like
an entire giant hole. Like it looked like an airplane out of the set of a movie.
There is a girl filming on her phone the night sky outside of their airplane through a giant hole in the wall.
It's so unbelievable. It's so crazy. So we can't talk about airplane malfunctions. I swear, like this podcast could just be crap that happens on an airplane.
Good, bad airplanes.
Yeah, literally, that is our number one. But so the last story we do want to share is we just want to acknowledge that because we always have to report on crazy stuff that happens to planes. I don't know why it just keeps happening. Get it together, planes.
It comes to our plate.
Yeah, I was gonna say the algorithm fully knows what we're looking for.
This isn't my plate. You.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, the quiet woman.
Yeah.
But the U.S., this is our last story, a U.S. Air Force officer was just crowned as the 2024 Miss America.
Ooh.
Now, the reason why I picked this story, not only because Madison March, who's a 22-year-old second lieutenant in the U.S. Air Force and master's student at Harvard Kennedy School of Public Policy program, was victorious as the 2024 Miss America pageant representing the great state of Colorado. Amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm glad we picked someone who, I mean, geez Louise, the Harvard Kennedy School
Air Force
master's student at 22 getting her master's. Like, well done. We picked someone. She's stunning. She's gorgeous. She looks great in a swimsuit. All the things. We hit all the marks.
Leonardo DiCaprio's next.
Yeah, 100%. I have a unique ability of picking the winners from the minute they say,
Can I see a picture of her?
Yeah. They only have her kind of crowned picture. They may have like a headshot or something later on in the article. I didn't get super far. Anyway, here's my beef with this. They did not ask me to be a judge.
Oh yeah, you would be so good
I
at
would
that.
be an incredible Miss America judge. Yeah, no, she's gorge. That looks almost like a Bachelorette campaign because it's a deep red dress. Here's my thought. One,
I have something crazy to say, which is that she is very beautiful and so average.
Oh yeah, no, there's nothing unique about her. No. I mean, we just were saying like she's Harvard. She hits the formula. She hits the formula.
Yeah, no.
And so I'll give her that. But here's my
I'm like, oh, blonde with blue eyes.
Blonde with blue eyes. I mean,
florals for spring.
Yes.
Like it's
so her talent though.
What was her talent? Singing?
Spoken word piece centered around receiving her pilot's license at 16. I live for a self-indulgent performance. Yeah. I'm going to do a spoken word performance about another accomplishment of mine. Layered, smart, get it.
Yeah, that is pretty smart.
I just want to know, how do I
become a judge?
Becoming a judge.
I think you have to be a pervert.
Oh my God.
Speaking of, who are the judges this year?
I was just going to look it up, but knowing that, okay.
I feel like it's like you have to be a pervert or you had to have been famous in the 90s. Because it's like Mario Lopez.
America judges. Okay.
You know?
So funny. All right. It is announced that the judges, Cynthia Bailey, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
She was a model.
Entrepreneur
that makes sense.
and author Elena Cardone, the founder of the Susan G. Komen breast cancer advocate, Ambassador Nancy Brinker, a wellness advocate and CEO Susan Malauzi.
Perverts.
And then Shelley Goldstein and a wedding and entertaining expert, David Tutura. They suck. I don't know what all of these people have that I don't.
Yeah, no,
aside
you got
from
it.
a great manager.
Yeah, that's
so if
true.
any of you want to manage us and get me into Miss America, here's the thing.
Cynthia Bailey doing it over like Kenya
Who actually was?
Wow, bring Cynthia Bailey back on Atlanta Housewives right now so that she can bring that up.
Yeah, she has no ties to LA
Kenya
anymore.
Moore's
She got
face.
divorced. Here's my thing. I want to even just do like a local, like judge a local chapter, like a Miss Sandy pageant.
Yeah,
I don't even
get
care.
into that.
How do I get into? If you are listening and you have any contacts for me to become a judge for both of us, we collectively give one score.
We could just host it.
No, I want to judge them. You can host it because you'd be an excellent host.
Well, I'm good at judging people too.
Yeah, no, that's how I'm feeling. I'm like the more fun job.
Yeah.
Judging. The host job, very stressful because
Yeah.
you got to get their dang names right, and you got to hear, and there's so many things happening. I mean, I think of what Steve Harvey reading off the wrong name and crowning the wrong Miss Universe, like
Pervert.
Just
kidding.
Allegedly. I really, really would like to be a judge of women, more in an official capacity.
See, I actually think you would be a great judge, but I think you would be an even better host.
Probably. They had Keelan.
Like if they answered really poorly on their interview question, you'd be like, "Thank goodness she's beautiful."
Like, well, that's an answer.
Back to you guys.
Yeah, I want to get into hosting. I would love to. Hosting would be a fun gig, and really getting into judging in an official capacity is right up my alley.
Yeah.
So, can we start a petition?
Get Jade. Wait.
What's my name? Hi, my name is Chase Walker. I don't know if you've
get Chase
GCJ. That's our new thing. That's what we want you guys to comment at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
GCJ.
With exclamation points.
GCJ.
Pumping.
GCJ.
If you can find a fist pumping emoji. I just cracked my elbow.
On what?
I just went.
Your body's like, whoa. It's still really early.
It is too early.
It is
for
way
that.
too cold. Oh, that's so funny. All right, babes. Anything else you want to talk about for today?
No. Is there any content you like?
I went to Mean Girls.
Friendly reminder also that we need to watch the movie Stardust.
Yes, we're halfway through the month, so watch Stardust.
Oh, and the most important thing is we officially hit 50.
Did we?
Comments.
I thought we were only
across.
At 48.
No. Because we got 5 comments on YouTube and 3 comments on TikTok. Chase is going to eat Chick-fil-A.
This week.
We'll
go.
Yeah.
You and me will record it. That's
absolutely
exciting. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. This is news to me. This is so exciting.
Yeah, no, we didn't get 50 on one singular post, which is fine. You guys showed up. And I'm
48 of you showed up.
Yeah, because
which is great.
I have
including
dying.
2 of Stephanie. Because I noticed your burner account.
Also, I had Traven comment on his secondary account. I had a couple people
I appreciate it.
Go to your fitness account. Go ahead and add that. Honestly, and if we weren't close, I would have hit that stretch goal. I would have said, you guys.
Maybe I'll be the 50th. I'll be the 50th comments.
Honestly, somebody commented oh, I love Chick-fil-A, and I wanted to reply to them and be like, if you don't.
They did say, I know, he did say, eat more chicken. But I did read that one too. And he's like, well, I don't really like. I
didn't even read the whole comment because it was long-winded. And I was like, lovingly, thank you for engaging in our content. Just say eat more chicken.
Yeah. So we have the movie that people have to watch. But I did go to Mean Girls. It was great. So good. Honestly. I love Tina Fey. I think she's kind of she's like a 3-star Michelin chef for comedy. Yeah. I think she's untouchable.
I need a Tina Fey and Amy Poehler movie again.
Yeah, I loved Bad Sisters.
I need to watch Baby Mama. I haven't seen that for years.
I have not seen that. Is a fun.
So good.
We should do a a question, which is what is your favorite Tina Fey project? Is it 30 Rock? Is it Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt? Is it
30 Rock is so good.
Bossy Pants? Because there's so many things. I just think Tina Fey's a genius. Oh, it was great. Tina Fey's book was really good too. I feel like I should
read Tina Fey's book. Because I do think I would like it. No, that's Amy Poehler's.
No.
Tina Fey's is Bossy Pants. Amy Poehler's.
Oh, Amy Poehler's Yes Please. Yes, sorry.
And I loved Yes Please. So I think that I would like Bossy Pants. I just read Bossy Pants right after Yes Please. And it just was not giving what I wanted it to give.
Yeah, I love both of them. I think they're hilarious. There was an amazing cameo in Mean Girls.
Did you see a video that Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph,
and Tina
Fey all went to go see it
in the movie theater in like a mall.
Can you imagine being in a theater and you see
and they just look
those
like friends.
three walk in? Yeah,
they just look like friends.
They just look like middle-aged women out to lunch.
Know that it's a musical.
Yes,
I think there were a couple of people that were surprised. And it's a remake. Remakes are never as good as the original. We understand.
But isn't it like almost word for word the same?
Of the musical or of the
movie? Like,
no.
A lot of the lines are the same.
A lot of the lines are the same because it's movie turned into musical, turned into movie musical. And so it's kind of circular in a lot of ways. But it's really, really good. There's a couple of definite changes. Renee Rapp.
Icon.
Hall pass.
Icon.
I'm obsessed with her. I think love her so much. Good. She's beautiful, but like alluring in a way. Like she's mesmerizing. Oof. And I think she's sensational. So I really loved that. And then I started season 2 of Traitors, which I know you don't watch. You've got to watch season 1.
I do watch Traitors.
Oh, I asked you if you watch. Oh, you just haven't started. I just haven't started it. They've released 3 episodes. I don't know if they're going to be doing like 3 episodes a week or if it's just going to be 3 and then a 1. If it's a 1.
Have you kept watching The Bear?
Yes.
So good.
I had to rewatch the first 2 episodes, so now we're like on episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oof. It continued to really do well in the award shows.
We
which is cool.
watched Nimona this weekend.
Oh yes, you told me that was so funny.
Oh my gosh, it's an animated Netflix movie, with like all-star cast, by the way. So freaking funny.
Show
I was like,
or movie?
It's an animated movie.
Okay, cool.
But it's not very long. It has elements of a lot of other movies, like a little Moana, a little bit of other movies.
Okay.
The main girl in the movie is so funny. I was cackling. And the jokes too are like, I feel like you could watch that at the lake house if your kids haven't seen it, or even if they have, that you and Steven will laugh and like be entertained watching it, and so will your kids.
That was how we felt about like DC Super Pets or whatever that movie was.
Oh,
it was hilarious when they put in unnecessary beeping by the snail or whatever.
Yeah.
I love shows that do a good adult kid comedy.
Yep. No, it was so good, so funny. It's very silly, but it just has funny jokes in it.
Yes.
Or the girl was just like, she can kind of transform into, like, she's a shapeshifter. And at one point they're chasing this guy and he's like, help, this demon child is chasing me. And you see this like literally levitating child with like black eyes like come around a corner. I was cackling. I thought it was so funny.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
But you could watch it with literally anybody in the room and you wouldn't.
A show that you cannot watch with your kids, but is really also really funny, is the Ted
oh my gosh,
TV show.
I've seen some clips from it that it is hilarious.
Steve and I were watching it yesterday while we finished our puzzle, which other big announcement, we finished our puzzle and now we're going to start another one. We're puzzle people now. And
do you want to do a puzzle exchange? I think we should trade some.
Yes, I can give you one of the one that we just did was bomb.
I finished my dog one. It was so fun.
Okay, because Marty Johnson sent me a picture of someone doing a horse puzzle, but it was just like gathered all the brown together and formed a horse of all the pictures. I'll send it to you. It's pretty funny.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So we were watching the Ted series. It's definitely not for kids. It is so funny. They made that kid sound like a young Mark Wahlberg. Like a pro. Like, I don't know how they did it, but it was amazing. And it's a really, really inappropriate, but so funny. I will rewatch the movies because of how good this series is. So perfect. Lots of things to watch. We love you guys. We will talk to you next week. We will figure out exactly what day, because it may be a little different. Yeah. Because I'm traveling, but we're excited and we will talk with you guys soon. Bye. Bye.